Real Talk Barbershop 870. Let's get it.
Back with another one.
Yes, sir.
What's happening, JR?
Man, everything good, bro. You're smelling like Macy's, a combination of Dillard's, but you're smelling good.
That's real good.
Yes,
That's
sir.
real good.
And I can smell you way over here.
Hey, we got the motivator in the building.
I know you're burning up preacher boys' nose over there.
We got Rodeo over there.
Is he burning your nose up, preacher? Is he burning your nose up?
Man, I'm kind of stuffed up.
Got a preacher boy, man.
We got a preacher boy in the house. We got a motivator in the house. Yes, sir.
Win this time, man. You got your boy. Rodeo.
We got big rodeo.
Yeah.
Man, we back to work
For another great episode.
Man, I love the work, man. I love the work.
How y'all weekend look? Good?
Everything got it.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
outstanding, man.
already. Let's go and get it.
Yeah, it's your boy Ro.
It's your boy Preach Boy Spann.
It's your boy Bebe the Motivator.
And I am JR, a.k.a. Mr. Rogers, and you're tuned in to
Real Talk Barbershop 870.
Let's get it.
Yes,
did?
sir.
Yes, sir.
We back in the house.
What's happening, brothers?
How y'all feel?
Man, another great episode.
Man, I feel I'm kind of stuffy, man. My nose burning.
Man, they man.
And everything over here, man.
Yeah, man.
What's the problem?
Man, I don't know. I kind of said some Versace, some Polo Red. It even smell like some old spice.
Man, over here first, man. That's that Savage, man. I got that Savage.
You know the Savage, it
That's the
smells
Savage,
good,
man.
but it's real strong.
Yeah, when you put
Man,
a
I
lot
put
on
2
it.
squirts on, man. Stop playing.
I'm just asking, man. You bathed in it?
No, man.
I mean, you got me burning up over here. I'm across the table.
Boy, y'all funny.
Look at
He
he
smell
smell
what?
what?
He smell
BB,
sexy.
I always want to call a dude sexy.
He smells sexy.
He
I'm
smells sexy.
wearing pink, ain't it?
Ain't that
What?
That mean I'm cool.
what?
You're fixing watch your eyes, too.
Little Trav came in.
Boy, they
last
looking
night.
like some Easter kids.
Man, Trav, you still little, man. I wish I was still sexy. What's
wrong?
BB?
That what you said?
I'm just manifesting.
You said you
manifesting.
still.
What you manifesting?
Hold on.
Six pack.
What did he say, bro? You still little.
Yeah, he said you still
Bro,
little,
you
man.
too tickled over there. You too tickled.
But we all in the house today, man. Y'all know we like to have fun
Y'all
now.
know
Hey, man.
We gotta have fun.
Say, man,
Easter
check
candy
this
over
out,
there.
man. Y'all make sure y'all like, subscribe,
Do that right
follow
now.
us, man. Hey, we got a dope episode
Your
for
eyes
y'all
burning?
today.
I'm laughing
Ah,
at BB
burning.
and calling man sexy.
You got deodorant
Man,
on.
look,
Now,
man,
don't call
we-
me in section
hey.
now. That's it. We gonna fix that. No, I get credit where credit due.
Oh.
Don't call no man
Y'all
section
like and
now.
subscribe to
All
our
right,
channel.
man.
It's
All
all
right,
real.
baby. They are.
Real
They
Talk
they
Barbershop
gonna
870.
just know they gonna cut the part they want to cut out and post it.
Yeah,
So
like
they
the
gonna
dude,
cut
like,
the part you see and call them sexy.
It's all good.
Hey man, check this out, man. We got a dope episode today, man.
great
A
episode.
very inspirational episode, man. This person we got today, really my family, my family for real, and the achievements that she has made, accomplished in life, man, they're amazing. I'm talking about BB. You know her well too.
Yeah, man, she's an outstanding lady in our community. She's a giver. She's a man,
Big time.
big heart.
Yeah,
You know, big heart, great family. You know, she's a family lady. You know what I'm saying?
man.
She her husband together. You know, they complement one another. You know, so you know, as far as the community go, she just recently been appointed
Man,
to the
she
city
a
council.
Yeah.
So,
Whoa,
great
give
asset
it
to
up.
our city.
Shout out to
A great
that.
asset
Yeah.
to our city, man. We need
I
more
forgot
people
that
like
just
her
that quick.
on our city council. So you know,
Man.
We do, man. We do.
and we need more people like her in our community.
Period.
You know?
Yeah.
Period.
Period. For her accomplishments, it doesn't outweigh her giving. It doesn't outweigh her personality and her character. So for what she's achieved, for me knowing her personally, she's still a humble young lady.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah.
And we love her in our community. I do personally.
That's
you know.
right.
And
Oh,
I don't know her too well, but she's been so inspirational to just everybody around here, you know. And I see you all the time, and it's just a beautiful thing just to be in your presence today.
Yes.
I must definitely say that.
Very
So-
thankful to have you.
Who we got? Tell them who we got.
Oh my God, I call her mama. You know, I used to be hating on me, but
Yeah.
I call her mama.
Yes, sir.
You know, we got Mrs.Linda Moore.
None
in the
other.
house.
None other.
None other.
Then the great
The great.
Come on.
Go B.
Come on, you got to do it right,
Go
man.
B.
Yeah.
Miss Linda Moore.
Let's get it.
This
Come
is so
on,
outstanding.
clap your
Clap your hands for Miss Linda Moore.
Thank you, fellas. Appreciate
Good to have you in the
How
house.
you feeling today?
it. I feel good.
That's what's
Started
you
the
looking
day off
good.
right, going to church. So,
Oh, right on.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah.
I feel
Praise
good.
the Lord.
Okay, you want to send a shout out to your church?
A shout out to Tabernacle Missionary Baptist Church in Osceola, where we're led by the great,
The great.
great.
not just my cousin, but one of the baddest preachers in Mississippi County,
Yeah.
Okay.
Bishop M. Smith.
Man, shout out to
Absolutely. Shout
ML
out to my
Smith.
uncle, man.
Shout
out.
Shout out to ML Smith.
Yeah, so he showed
Proud
me
to be under
sing
his
too.
leadership. Very
Yes.
proud.
Wonderful.
That's what's up. So tell us who is Linda Moore.
Well, where do I start? Well, just someone who really cares, and I try to lead by example, starting with my children, of course. Old school mom, always wanted to leave some type of legacy for them, something
Absolutely.
to make them proud, something if they want they can take over.
Absolutely.
My daughter works with me at the employment service. She started with me as an intern, actually. A lot of people don't know this. She started as an intern in
Wow.
junior high school.
Wow.
Stayed with me throughout her breaks in high school, and then on when she went on to college. And that
Okay.
she didn't stop there. She went on to grade school, and after she graduated with a master's degree.
Wow.
Okay.
Shout out to
Criminal
that.
justice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
we sure didn't know
She
that.
has a master's degree in criminal
Wow.
justice,
Okay.
but she chose to come and work with me. She's my right hand.
Wow.
I
know.
mean, I just couldn't do it without her
Sure is.
because she's one of those people. A lot of people, get judged because of their youth or their relationships, but she lives by what we represent.
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, she gives not just 100%, but 200%.
Oh, wow.
I have to make her leave sometimes.
Wow.
Like,
Wow.
what are you still doing
she
up
got
here?
a master.
Well, Mama,
Okay.
why are you still up here? I say, I own it. Well, I'm the office manager.
Right.
So, and my son, of course, me and my son started our transportation division.
Wow.
My first driver became
Okay.
a supervisor over my drivers. And then after a year or two, once we got it off the ground, he said, Mama, we need to talk. Well, now he's working on his own business.
Okay.
Where
That's what I'm
I
talking
have the
about.
transportation service where we transport passengers. Well, he's started his own cargo transport.
Okay.
business.
Wow.
Okay.
So I'm very proud
Wow.
of both of my children.
That's
Man.
amazing.
They've always been my incentive. No matter how high you go in life, we're human. And we have those moments where we get a little down and out. I remember asking my husband one time, I said, honey, I always think about my legacy and what I was meant to do. I said, do you think I've been successful at what I've been trying to do? You know my story. He said,
Wow.
baby, you've been open for 25 years. Wow. You are successful.
Man, hold on.
Wow.
Shout out to that. 25 years.
Yeah.
And it
25
wasn't
years.
easy. There's always obstacles in anything you want to do. No matter how good you are at it, no matter how much you care about people, you're going to always run into obstacles. But my father taught me when I was a girl in high school that, you're going to always have obstacles, but you just get around it. You go over it, under, around it. But the most important thing is you get through it and you keep
That's
on
right.
moving. And
That's
that's what I
right.
do. I keep on moving.
That's
Some
right.
obstacles are really meant to make you stronger, make you work harder. You know how they talk
That's
about
right.
competition? Not all competition is bad competition.
That's
Because you
right.
got to know who you are.
Yes.
We know who we are. We
Right.
know what we represent.
That's right.
It's hard, but it's worth it. When you really help people, that's my calling. When I run into someone that I've put to work 10 years ago, they're still there, and now they're supervising my new temps. That's what the blessing and what we do is all about.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
beautiful. So we know you're a businesswoman. How many businesses do you have?
Well, actually, the employment service, then there's two divisions to that. There's
Okay.
Dawson Employment, Dawson Staffing, and Dawson Transportation. So we have three divisions.
For a lot, we all know because we're here, but a lot of people probably don't know what is Dawson and what does your business do?
Okay, we're an employment service we're often referred to as a temporary staffing service.
Okay.
But what I always remind people when they come to work, even if it's a temporary position, when you go out there, give your all. We've had people go out there for 1 week, 2 week assignments, become permanent people. Permanent. So 85% of the jobs do become permanent
Wow.
full-time jobs with benefits.
Wow.
Wow.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So
I go ahead, B.
So I heard in your intro when you was telling who was Linda Moore, and you said a couple of things that caught my attention. One, you said we talk about it all the time as brothers.
Yep.
You said, one, I want to leave a legacy
Oh man.
for my
For your
children.
children.
Yes.
Oh man.
That's number one. That to us, that's big. And then number two, you said, I've been in business 25 years, and we all know that not only are you a woman, but you're a black
Come on,
woman.
man.
Black
So you have two things against you. You're black and you're a woman.
Come on,
so
man.
you have two minority obstacles to overcome. How has that been a challenge, or how did you overcome those obstacles? Setting a legacy up for your children, and also, it's a two-thing question, and also overcoming the challenges of being a black woman trying to be in business 25 years.
Of course, being black is something I would never overcome. It's something I'm very proud of. But
Come
at
on
the
now.
same time, we knew going into this, and when I say we, I'm talking about the people I hire,
Yeah.
people that work for me. We know sometimes we have to work 10 times harder.
Absolutely.
But once you reach that goal, it's so worth it. I think about the people, what we do in the employment service. It's my staff, my drivers, the clients that I represent every day, and my temporary employees I put to work. I remind all of them all the time we're a team.
Yes, ma'am.
And as long as we work together,
Wow.
we're going to make it. And Pastor, one of the things he taught us, we were talking, and one of the things he would always say, thank God I don't look like what I've been through.
Man.
If people only knew
That's
what
right.
we've had to go through,
Right.
yes, I sit in an office most of the day, in and out, because I have a lot of business to do, but it's so much more to it. When you do mental business,
Wow.
that's a lot harder than
Right.
going to a factory where you're clocking in and clocking out.
Right.
But when you have to open doors for thousands of other people, in the 25 years that we've been open, we've hired over 9,000 people throughout Mississippi County.
That's amazing.
Now, of course, we don't have 9,000 working at one time. I wish
Right,
we did.
right.
But collectively in 25 years, we have put over 9,000 people to work throughout Mississippi County, and it hasn't been easy.
9,000 people a
a
chance.
lot of obstacles. I thank God for the customers that see beyond my exterior.
Right.
We have some people. We're unfortunately in an area where we get judged by our appearance.
Right. The truth.
But when you put your best foot forward and you stay professional, people can't help but to see you. They see through the exterior.
Right.
And I thank God for the customers that see me and my daughter.
That's good.
And the rest of my staff that help make us Dawson Employment Service. Because I tell them, no matter what our relationships are outside of the office, when you step through the doors at Dawson Employment, we are all Dawson Employment. We're one team with one mission, and it takes all of us working together to be
love it.
successful at what we do.
That's amazing.
This is
It's crazy. So,
That's
go
dope.
ahead. Go ahead, bro.
man, hey,
bro.
I'm amazed.
Go-
Man.
I am too.
Woo, this is great. This is good stuff. So, Mama, how did Dawson start? Like, how did this all come together?
Okay, when
That's
I
good.
first moved here, shortly after my children were almost 2 years old. So they were born in New Jersey. So I moved here from New Jersey. And I didn't know a lot of the businesses here, although I had a lot of family here, so I was familiar with Bilal. My mom was born and raised here, so I knew I had a lot of family here. Been out in New York for 7.5 years working, starting off my career. After having twins, I decided I wanted to move here and be around family. So I didn't know the businesses, so I went to the unemployment office, and they immediately had a job interview for me. Went to the school system because, of course, I had to get my children ready for school. They had a job offer. And then across the street from the unemployment office was a staffing service. So when I went in there, I didn't know she had only been open for a few months. So she also offered me a position, and my big brother and his family had moved from Milwaukee, where I went to college. They'd been here about 5 years. So I went and I talked to him, and he encouraged me to take the position at the staffing service. I said, well, the interview was a little odd. He said, well, don't worry about that. He said, once she sees what you have to offer and what kind of person, what kind of worker you are, he said, that's going to change. And I interviewed for a payroll clerk position, but, I was put at the front desk because she didn't really have a staff then. And I didn't care. I wanted to work. I had a family.
Right, right.
So within 1 year, I became the office manager. And during that year, I met her partner. She had a partner, and, of course, he was awesome. And once he realized, after 2.5, 3 years, I knew that I wanted to do something different. I was put on the front desk. I started doing payroll. I was administrative assistant. I did just about everything because most of the time I was there by myself. And with 1 year, I got promoted to the office manager position. Made a lot of really good connections. But just, you always see different ways of doing things.
Absolutely.
And I just wanted to do some things differently.
Right.
So I had a really close relationship with him, and I had talked to him, and he knew that I was preparing to leave. So he called me, and actually, he's now like a godfather, my mentor, and I speak about him occasionally when I speak out in public. His name is Don Dawson, and that's where the name comes from, because that's my way of paying homage to somebody that believed in me when I really didn't believe in myself.
That's awesome.
And he and I still talk. He's retired and moved off, and we still talk because he said, Linda, I knew right away what kind of person you are, and he said what you deserve, and he convinced me, and I started Dawson Employment Service. I did have a silent partner for a short time, but when it comes to Dawson Employment, what a lot of people don't know is that's my business. I started it. I built it with an awesome staff, and I've maintained it.
Man.
Man, that's
Kudos.
amazing.
This is outstanding.
I just heard something. I was going, because, we family, so I was going to ask. I ain't never know where the name Dawson came from.
A lot of people
until
don't,
today.
and they ask why it's not, because they expect it to be more.
Because you got so much other.
Well, I actually had a talk with my lawyers and had a talk with my accountant about the name, and they encouraged me. They said, well, Linda, you built it under that name. I'd keep it.
Yeah,
and that's what I've
yeah.
done.
And that says a lot
And
about
it means
you.
a lot. My relationship with him
That says a lot
and with
about
his
you.
brother, it means a lot.
Yeah.
My brother worked for a long time with one of his brothers. And if anybody knows Don, he's the type of person that'll help anybody he see promise in that's trying to do things. He's set all of his brothers up in businesses. He's done some things, when it comes to his children. Plus, he's helped so many people that people don't even imagine.
Wow.
And just little old me. He
Wow.
saw some things in me, and I'm glad that God brought him into my life, because that's why I'm where I am today.
Absolutely.
That's wonderful.
And
Sometimes
on
you
your
just
hard
got to
work.
step out on faith. It was scary leaving the atmosphere I was in. It was comfortable. I was in the highest position I was ever going to go there. But when you have an opportunity to be an owner, and, my ex-employer, she wasn't too happy with my leaving. I went through a lot of
Right.
backlash, but that's just part of growth. What Dad taught me is what doesn't break you makes you stronger.
That's right.
And all she has no idea what she did for me. It made me stronger.
That's
Right.
right.
Wow.
And I
That's
keep on
right.
moving.
That's true.
You can't destroy a good thing. Or Pastor always said, the most successful you'll be at life is a business started by a foundation led by God. Dawson Employment Service is built on a foundation led by God.
I like that. I love that.
So
So can't destroy us.
that's so
It's
wonderful.
just making us stronger, and we keep on moving.
And we see it.
Yeah, we definitely see it. So let's circle back to the. I heard you say you had a mentor part. So how important was having a mentor in your building the foundation for your
In
business?
Mississippi County,
Yes.
when I moved here from New Jersey, because everybody that knows New York, New Jersey, that's the melting pot of the world.
Gotcha.
People are just people. They
Yeah.
live their lives to the fullest. But when I came here, it was very different. People are different. And not to say anything bad, I'm very happy that I
Right.
made that change. And I love it here, because making that move here is the reason why now I have my own business.
Right.
And now I can leave something for my children. That's always been one of my biggest goals.
Yes,
Especially
man.
as black people. How many of us are able
Right.
to leave
That's true.
something
Not many
for our
of us do.
children?
Not
You
at
know,
all.
and it was so
Not at all.
important to leave something for my children.
Right.
And that's been my goal. They are my everything, my incentive.
I can tell.
And I remember I'd have those days when I get down and out, and there's pictures of them I keep in my office, and some of those really hard days, I just look up at them, and it's like they're saying, hang in there, mama. Just hang in there.
Oh,
That's what I
wow.
do. I hang in there, and I keep on moving.
You talking about your kids. Tell the world their names. Tell them their names.
Okay, most of the people who don't know me personally, sometimes the younger generation, you're Malik and Maisha's mom, aren't you? Yes. My son is Malik Moore. My daughter is Maisha Marie Moore Parks. So, and Marie is actually here with me in the studio today. I'm very proud. She wouldn't let me come without her. She wanted to make sure she was there. She's my ride or die. And I'm
Shout
very
out to
proud
Marie.
of what she's accomplished in life, and my son.
Shout out to my little sister.
And Malik.
Yeah, Malik. Yeah.
And I'd be remiss if I didn't give some shout out to my husband.
Oh,
yes.
Everybody knows my
man.
husband.
Yes.
Rick
Shout out to
Richard
Rick.
Moore.
That's my
Yes.
guy, man.
You know,
He'll be to call my
husband is
phone.
retired from the steel mill, but he's my partner in life.
Yes.
And it's good to have that.
It is.
Especially if you're trying to live right in church and set examples for your children. And we have dozens of rental property, and he's a great help, just helping to oversee how that works out. And we have a waiting list, so we've done well with that as well. So teamwork makes the dream work, as I say.
And Rick will say what he got to say.
My husband is very outspoken, which is where our daughter gets it from. You know, you don't have to worry about what they're thinking because they're going to tell you.
Right.
So, and a lot of people admire them for that.
Right. So, go ahead.
Oh, man.
I'm sorry.
Also, one of the big things, we were volunteers, big-time volunteers. My husband, for many years, was the head coach for, anybody that knows him know he's a die-hard
Cowboy Nation is in the building.
Hey, don't overdo it.
He is
Don't
overdoing
We talking about look cowboy. We talking about look cowboy.
Just because we on TV.
Yes.
Yeah, we talking about look cowboy.
He flat foot overdoing it.
Cowboy.
Man, he a cowboy,
He's a
though.
diehard.
He a
but
cowboy.
He also coached the Misco.
Yes.
football
Yes.
team.
That's who we
Yeah.
got.
They bad, too.
Look,
Years.
Yeah, we like to look at
And
Misco
he was the
football.
head coach.
Well,
I was
y'all
his
some
team
haters.
mom for 12 to 15 years. And
Yes.
I mean, I'm sure my husband won at least 8 championships.
He did.
He
And
won a
he
lot.
brings out
We
the
couldn't
best
beat
in
him.
those 4th through 6-year-old, 10 through 12-year-olds,
Yes.
4th through 6th
He
graders,
does.
10 through 12-year-olds.
That is wonderful.
And it's just really been a blessing for us. Those children did not forget what Coach Ricky meant to them. I mean, he follows them from Misco to junior high to high school, and some of them are in college or adults. And then they'll run into him about work. Go up there and see my wife.
Yes.
Yes. So
Yeah, my son played for. I never will forget. I started laughing because I thought, how Rick is real passionate about coaching, and I remember when he grabbed KJ by the helmet. Come here, boy.
he
But the
treats
kid
them
love-
like their
yeah,
children.
yeah.
But some of the coaches and teachers will call my husband before they call the parents because
Yes.
of the relationship, the mentorship he has with some of these young men.
Yes.
And it's wonderful to watch.
That's very important.
It's really wonderful. And I remind them, I say, honey, you don't know what some of these children are dealing with at home.
Yes.
That's
just,
right.
Just be there for them.
That's right. And he done a
Everybody
great
needs
job.
somebody like that to look up to.
Yes.
What's happening, y'all? This your boy Ro. And this episode of RTB 870 is sponsored by Jacobs Lawn Service. We licensed and insured. We do commercial and residential. When you don't want to get out there and cut that grass, give your boy that cash. Hey, and we got affordable prices. We're here to take care of all your lawn needs. So give your boy a call at 870-740-8534. That's 870-740-8534. You dig? This episode of Real Talk Barbershop 870 is sponsored by
870 Trucking.
Where they specialize in general freight.
Give us a call at
870-278-2934.
870-278-2934. Yes, sir.
You did. So we know what makes you go, the kids. So tell us like some things you like to do.
I love sports.
Okay.
I love sports. Of course, my favorite sport is basketball.
Okay.
All
My
right.
favorite player, of course, is LeBron James.
Shout out to
Shout out to
LeBron.
LeBron, man,
But
the king.
growing up in my generation, of course, I was back in the 76er days, Julius Irvin, Dr. J. And it wasn't just because of his basketball skills, what he did off the court. He's a doctor off the court as well, and a businessman.
Wow.
So
I did not know that.
I was very impressed. A lot of young people,
Really?
when I talk to them, doctor like PhD type doctor.
Right.
He is a businessman and he's just an all around. And that's what I tell these young athletes. Tomorrow's not promised.
Right.
God forbid you get an injury, so you need a backup plan. And that happened to one of my nephews. He was with the Green Bay Packers when they won the championship. He got hurt, but he has a college degree in sports medicine.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's working for Nike and traveling and closer to home. My big sister lives out in Wisconsin, so he's moving to Chicago and still working for Nike. Okay. So, you always have to have a backup plan.
Mm-hmm.
You can't put all your big eggs in one basket, as they say. If it works for you, that's wonderful. I hope some of our young athletes around here do make it.
Right.
I want to be able to look on TV and say, he used to be our center. He used to be
Right,
our point guard.
right.
That's a blessing because it's a community effort. And I'm so proud of our Chickasaws.
Man, shout out to
one
them
of the big
Chickasaws.
things that a
Shout
lot
out
of
to the
people and should be focused on is that moment when the community came together.
Right.
And that
Absolutely.
was such a
So
blessing.
Man, that was crazy.
That makes your
Absolutely.
I
community
enjoyed
stronger, powerful, and it growth. You can't do nothing but grow from that.
That's right. That's right.
That's right.
So you got a lot going on. Sound like you got your
I
temp
do.
service, you got your transportation service. You said you got your rental houses as well.
Yes.
So
And I'm the newest member of the Blackville City Council.
And the newest
So
member
I'm
of the
enjoying
Blackville
that
City
as
Council.
well.
Go ahead
Another
on
way
then.
to give back to the community.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So I'm enjoying that.
Absolutely.
So how difficult is managing all of this? I know I'm sure you got a great team
And being successful.
and being successful
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Preach.
Well, there are times when you have to prioritize.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I worry about having so many things that you don't give enough, because there are times when I have to say no, when it comes to committees and boards and different things, because I don't like to have to do anything that I do. You and I had that talk about being on a board. I just don't like to have to do anything that I do. And I even teach my children by example. I tell them, I said, just be careful what you do and say, because your children are watching you. They're like sponges when they're growing up.
That's right.
So it's really important what you say and what you do around them, because they're absorbing that.
Right.
So, and I'm even trying to lead them.
That's
They're
right.
young, but you have to start when they're young.
Right.
Wow.
Which one of those do you? And you probably hadn't even looked at it. Which one do you enjoy doing the most? Your rental housing, your temp service, your transportation.
I would have to say the employment service.
Okay.
Because the employment service has allowed me to add the staffing service, add the transportation service. And actually, the reason how the transportation service came about, we had a client that he was concerned about his employees getting to work, and got to the point to where if they didn't have their own transportation, some companies didn't want to hire them. So we wanted to close that gap. So that's really why we started the transportation service.
Wow.
But we got recognition right away from other entities, and of course, we added medical transport to it, and that became one of the bigger parts of transportation. We're available for any employees that need transportation back and forth to work.
So they don't have to be through Dawson.
We've actually taken people to work that work for other services, but when you start looking at the legality of it, insurance, then we decided to protect my business.
Gotcha.
I need to focus on Dawson employment.
Absolutely.
So, Ms. Linda, how has the transition? I know you just recently been appointed to the city council. How is the transition going? And how are you enjoying it? I know it's probably you're just getting acclimated with it. But how is that going so far?
I'm actually enjoying it. The first few weeks, my agenda was to really just observe, get to know the people that I was serving on the board with.
Yes, ma'am.
Get familiar with the different departments, the department heads, because as a city council member, we had a committee. We each had a committee, and then we're on 2 other committees as members of that committee. Okay. So it's really getting to know the people, city leadership. So it's really interesting to get to know those people and what they represent, and it's really been great. There's a lot of work to be done, and we're trying to do it as a team.
I got you. So being a city council member, is there trainings, mandatory trainings you all have to go through, anything like that? Because
me being appointed to the city council was actually unique for those that don't know how my appointment came about. The election was back in November.
Right.
You had people run for the seats that were available. Those people were elected because I voted. Well, what happened, one of the seats became vacant because the person that I replaced actually retired. So
Gotcha.
in that retirement, it was in the paper. So, of course, I called him and just to get a heads up. And what do you think about me going for this position? He's like, fabulous. Oh, man, you'd be perfect. So he actually wrote a letter to the mayor and to the other city council members recommending me for the position. Now, of course, with anything else, there is some opposition. And there were several people opposed because they wanted people who ran in the previous election. They tried to tie it all together. But I reminded people the position that I'm up for has nothing to do with the election.
Right.
The people who ran in that election, some lost, and the person that we voted for won.
Right.
So this has nothing to do with this appointment.
That's right.
So it came down to a vote where the majority won.
And we're looking at the winner.
You're looking at the results, thank God, and I'm happy with
Yes,
that.
ma'am. We're
And
glad
it's so
you was the
wonderful to have
result.
people that believe in you.
Right.
Yes,
And I don't want to disappoint, so I'm working it to the best of my ability. I'm still
Absolutely.
learning and trying to help anyone that calls in the best way I can, or refer them to the resources where they can get the help they need.
Absolutely.
That's great.
Wow. So with the temp service, I know that you put different people to work, right? So how do you go by? Do you have to go out and recruit different corporations to be able to work for them, to be able to, bring employees to their business?
The biggest part of our business has actually been referrals, word of mouth. We have people who have worked with us that refer their friends, family, their mates, their children. We have our clients that refer people to us. So word of mouth has really built our business. So that's why it's important to have a good reputation and to be good to people and take care of people because we get so many referrals. Now, we do job fairs where last year we actually did 2 to where at the chamber, at the unemployment office, we did our own Dawson Employment Job Fair just to let people know we're out there. We're here for you if you need us. Sales calls, I do those occasionally, but I really haven't had to do a lot because people call on us.
Wow.
So it's been a blessing.
Wow, that's wonderful.
It's really been a blessing.
So like when I got out, you started me at NIPCO. I remember that. I stayed at NIPCO 5 years. How do you and NIPCO get that relationship?
We actually have a great working relationship. We've been working with them for many years.
Do y'all have to like put in bids or contract or?
Actually, with this one, we were doing a little, and then in meeting, you set up meetings, you meet with the decision makers, and you present a proposal or you tell them what you have to offer. And, in Blyville, there's only 3 services. And Osceola, there's only 3 or 4. So there's not a lot to choose from, so you just have to put your best foot forward. They don't always choose you up front, but sometimes, like I try to convince them, all I need is for people to give us a chance.
Gotcha.
Just give us a chance, and then you'll see what we've been telling you all along.
Yeah.
So, and sometimes they try 1 or 2 other services, but they tend to always come back eventually.
Wow.
Right.
Okay.
So is that how you all solicit? Most employers is the same way, like you just saw about NIPCO. So if you were soliciting to a Nucor or Tenaris, pretty much it's the same thing. Present a proposal to any business.
Well, that's to get the temporary business.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, often what we do is, because we take applications every day, Monday through Friday, and then we get sometimes some applicants just stand out. When we have those type of applicants, we may not have an opening, but we can call a client or even a business that we may not be hiring for to say, well, we've got this applicant, they've got this. We get a lot of openings that way just because of the skills that people bring to us. One of the things about Dawson Employment, we don't judge people. We'll work with anybody.
Yeah.
We'll help anybody that needs our help. Now, we may not have an opening for you, but we refer to other companies. We have
Right.
competitors that we refer to. They don't know it because we're not doing it for them.
Yes.
After all, we're the
That's
competition,
amazing.
but we're doing it for that person that
That's
needs a
amazing.
job.
Right.
A lot of people are hiring people. We have bitter competition, but that's just part of it. And sometimes just tell them you're working for us.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you'll be surprised how closed-minded some people are. They hire them only because they think they're hurting us.
Wow.
No, you're actually doing something good because I love the
Wow.
fact that you're hiring somebody that I actually referred.
Wow.
Right.
They think if they hire them from Dawson that they're hurting Dawson. That's not what this is about. We
Right.
should be able to work together.
Right.
I should be
Yeah.
able to call all of my competitors, and all but one, I can. I have a great relationship with most of the staffing services around here, and we just call, I've got somebody that needs to go to work, One of my brothers one time, he was looking for a specific job, and we didn't hire for that client. And I told him who did. Oh, I ain't going to work for her. I said, honey, it ain't even about her.
Right.
It's about you and your family. You need
That's
to go to
right.
work.
Yes.
I like
So,
that.
I'm not that person.
That's right.
A lot of people compare us to one service, and they think the competition is just between me and that service. It's never been that for me.
That's right.
Right.
What my vision is bigger than that. It's bigger than their company, mine, and
Wow.
it's about the people we serve.
Wow.
I don't understand why
Wow.
people don't see that.
Wow.
There's a lot of closed-minded people. There's still, it goes without saying, there's still a lot of biasness, but people are people all over the world. I can't do nothing about that.
That's right.
But all I can do is present what we have to offer
Wow.
and just keep it moving. I tell my staff all the time, sometimes, they take it personal, how people treat them, how people talk to them. I say, don't look at it that way. I say, just remain professional.
That's right.
Whatever you do. And if it gets to be too arrogant to where they get to belittling you, badgering you, making you feel bad, refer them to, put them on hold. Just say, hold on, let me get somebody that can help you. And then either my office manager, Marie, or myself will take the call.
Right.
So, the main thing is just stay professional. You can't go wrong.
Wow. Well, Miss Linda, with you having so much going on, so many successful things going on, how important is your support system?
Support is good because everybody, no matter how high you're up on the totem pole, need somebody to have your back.
That's right.
That's a conversation I used to always have with my husband. I said, honey, I know I got a lot going on. All I need you to do is always have my back. Because everybody needs somewhere to unload. Now God He gets a lot of it.
Yep.
He gets a lot of it. I actually,
There you go.
when we built our house, my husband,
Such
we were
a
kind of looking
beautiful
around.
house.
Very much
There
so.
was a room in it that we actually didn't have on our plans, and this is a true story. There's a room in the house that we did not even have on our plans.
Wow.
So he called me over. He had been over there with the contract and called me over. And he turned it into, because I'm a woman, he turned it into a shoe closet. But it was so big, part of that closet is what I consider to be my prayer room.
Wow.
So what I do is, I give it to, he's my first person I call on. I meet with my bishop, my pastor. We meet once or twice a year where I step outside of the fact that he's my big cousin. I love that he is. But at the
Absolutely.
same time, he's also my Christian father, my leadership. And he and I meet, and I can unload about the things that I'm concerned about. They help keep me grounded.
Right.
And sometimes
awesome.
everybody needs that outlet, but
right.
it's important. I tell my staff it's important who you choose to go to have your truth to speak to, because if you're talking to someone that's negative, that's always down,
right.
you're talking to the wrong person.
Yes.
Come on, help us.
Surround yourself by positive people that's
Positive
trying to lift
people,
you
yes.
up. Otherwise, you're going to fail.
Right. Wow.
Man,
Man, that's tough.
Amazing.
it's been a real rich interview, man, so far. And, hey, you spilling
You didn't
so
know your
much.
cousin could talk that much, did you?
Look,
It's
I
wonderful.
really,
I'm really
honestly,
not
I
a big
really
public
didn't-
speaker, and I don't talk a lot. But when something is so
Man.
close to your heart,
Passion,
and you're so
yeah,
passionate about
yes,
it,
it's pouring out of you.
It is.
Pouring out
It
of
is.
you.
I didn't know you talked that much, but I knew you had it in you. Because I tell you all the time, we watch you. We watch you. There's a
Yes.
lot of people that look up to you.
Yes, we
Thank
know.
you, guys.
Yes.
It means
Yes.
a lot.
The
you-
joy,
you're a
and
great
then the joy
inspiration.
coming off you. I mean, you got a
Yeah.
lot of joy
Yeah.
coming off you, the positive energy
The
coming
light.
out.
And then
You
knowledge
know,
with it.
You feel it?
That
It's
wisdom.
all in my chest.
So,
Seriously.
I
It's
hope.
just
Seriously,
easy being
man.
me because I'm the same. I don't put up a fake facade. I am what I am, who I am, and I do care about people, all people. You have some people that have a select group that ain't me, because one of the things when the mayor did her address at the chamber, the one thing that really stuck in my mind is the oneness. If you don't have that to where you're trying to help all people, how can you succeed?
Right.
And even if you do, your growth is not as big as it could be.
Right.
So the sky's the limit. I remember when Obama won the first time, my children were asleep, but of course I had to stay up all night because it was important to me to see the results. Although in my mind, I had already had my winner in my mind.
Yes.
But I was just watching until it was
Yes.
official. And when it was official, I went and woke my son out dead sleep. He was, what's going on? He thought the house was on fire. I said, son, Obama just won. I said, do you know what that means? No, ma'am. I said, that means you can be anything in this world you want to be.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
The sky's the limit. You can be anything in you want to be. It's your choice. But it starts now. Because they were in high school.
Wow.
I said, it starts now.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Start building now.
So with the employment service, is it difficult at times finding good employees for these jobs?
It is difficult. It's difficult, but it's doable.
Okay.
We're limited, now we can pick all day the people we know from experience will be the best.
Right.
But at the end of the day, sometimes they have to go out there and interview. Sometimes the clients say, well, you just look through your applicants and just send me the most suitable person for the job. Of course, we prefer that.
Yes.
Because when you've been working with people this long, you know people. Some work with you 1, 2, some come back 3 times.
Right.
But, and I say this to my staff, is the reason why some people go through 2 or 3 jobs, they haven't found their niche yet. And when you're younger, just like when you guys went to college,
Yes.
because, when I went to college, I pretty much knew what I wanted to be, but at the same time, I knew there were so many other options. When I was in junior high, I always thought I was going to be a school teacher because I love children. But as a junior and senior in high school, I started dabbling with computers and created a program, and I thought, I kind of like this. So when I went to college, I was a computer data processing major with a minor in accounting. And so that's how I started off my career,
Okay.
And
Wow.
So, people don't like to work nowadays. So, how is it, just finding people to work, actually retain and stay on and stuff like that?
It's still possible, but unfortunately, it's a lot harder. And I think it's gotten harder since the pandemic because there were so many things out there, and
Yep, exactly.
And I mean, who wouldn't want to be home and draw a paycheck? But at the end of the day, it comes down to mentality. Some of us would prefer to work for it.
Yes.
And me and my husband come from that generation where we've always worked. I mean, I think we both started working around the same age.
Wow.
I started working around 12, volunteering at
Wow.
a youth center in town. you know, and through school, through junior high and through high school, he did the same. My husband started chopping cotton, you know, and worked, both of us had a history of working 2 jobs before we became parents. So it's just, it comes down to me, to mentality. You know, a lot of people get judged because of the color of their skin, because of their race, their age, their sex. It's not even about that. A good employee comes in all facets.
Right.
And I just want people to have more of an open mind when it comes to hiring. You know, stop judging people because of their race or who they're related to, what they look like, what their age. You miss out on a lot of good employees like that. And one example that I'm going to give you to close this question out is, we had a young man came into our office. He had a disability. He had a limp. One of the sweetest people you ever meet had a limp. And one of the recruiters came to, she said, are we going to be able to send him on this particular job? And she wasn't judging him because of his disability. She was concerned if he could physically do the job. But after sitting down and talking to him, this young man, oh my God, I don't know how many years. It's been 10, 15 years. Still working at that same job.
Wow.
One of the best workers we ever sent to this client.
Wow.
But, you know, a lot of people get judged, but, you know, you have to talk to people. You can't be afraid to talk to people. You'd be surprised of what some other people have been through trying to make it. He came to the right place. Like I tell people, if you're not coming to go to work, then please don't waste our time. We're about work. We're not the unemployment office. We are an employment service.
Yes.
So if you're not coming here for work, you're coming to the wrong place. Don't waste my time or yours.
Hey, what up, world? It's your boy Preacher Boy, man. I had to pause a second and let you know that this episode of Real Talk Barbershop 870 is sponsored by no other than Impeccable Cuts. Listen, you heard me right, Impeccable Cuts. If you got a big day coming up and you need to look and feel your best, be sure to book with Impeccable Cuts and jump in that hot seat, man. Treat yourself by booking your next chop, your hot towel experience, or even your relaxing facial at bookthecut.co/preachboy. That's bookthecut.co/preachboy. All the information, the address, and the phone number on the screen, man. Listen, if you need to look your best, do your job and book, and I'll do the rest. Get impeccable.
I like that. We're not the unemployment office. We are employment service. Yeah, we're looking for those ready to work. I like that.
Some people come in, well, I just need a week, I need 30 days to get my unemployment. Well, that's not what we do.
Right.
We're about employment. If you're not coming looking for a job that maybe you can take care of your family, your bills, yourself, and your home, you'd be surprised people will sell them for just a few dollars to keep them going to work.
So
and my vision is bigger than that.
Somebody actually come in and say,
I just want to work for a week.
Man,
I'm sure y'all hear it all.
I'm
Yeah,
sure.
we've dealt with it all.
Right, I'm sure.
We've dealt with it all. We've dealt with it all. We tell people, you know, if you really want to go to work, you know, we don't judge people, you know, but we do have those talks with people if their presentation isn't what our client is looking for. And when you sincerely want to help people, my staff used to laugh at me. They'd be up front, and I'd hear part of what was going on, and I'd intervene, and I'd call the person back to my office, because you don't want to embarrass people. Sometimes people don't know what their disability is or what's going to keep them from getting a job. I had a young man, I was sending him out for, I was sending him to the mill for storeroom position, and tattoos galore, which, of course, I have no problem with it. Y'all know my son.
Right.
So, smart young man. But I told him, I said, I'm going to tell you, when you're going to work in an office, someone may have a problem with it. So you're going on this interview, wear long sleeves, you know. And young man came in my office, pants about to fall off. I said, come here. They know when I'm finna get somebody.
Yes.
But it's all done in love.
That's right.
It's not to
It's
make them feel
needed.
bad
It's
and
needed.
embarrassed.
It's
I want them
needed.
to go get that job. And I was getting ready to send him on an interview for a company that they considered, if you're sagging, indecent exposure. So I said, honey, when you go to that job, please put on a belt. Yes,
go.
ma'am. Yes,
Right.
ma'am. And people respect that.
You
You know,
just
when
trying to
people
help
know
them.
that you're sincere and you're just trying to help them get that job, they can't do nothing but appreciate it. Some of them come in there mad at the world, just mean and ugly, and sometimes they'll come back, I'm so sorry.
Right.
People are human. You don't know, I tell myself, you don't know what people are going through. You know, anything. He may have just lost a family member. He may have just lost another job. You don't know what people are going through or what weighing on it. Don't judge. Just listen and do what you can to help, and that's all we can do.
Wow.
Man,
Great
you are
advice.
one inspiration. You are inspiration.
Yes.
You're
James, you
inspiration
blown
to me.
away, James.
I am.
No doubt. I can only imagine.
I feel you, man. I am
You know
too.
how people, you know, when they come in your presence, I mean, you give off such energy. It's just unbelievable to me. You know, but this is a pleasure.
I can imagine you, like, how do you deal with, like, all these personalities? Because you come across all kind of people like all
Just
the time.
treat everybody as an individual, an individual, and treat them all the same. But sometimes it takes a little bit more work with some than others.
Right.
We had a young man that was going to work. He didn't have anything, and they thought he was wearing the same clothes every day. But what this young man was actually doing was going home and washing that outfit.
Wow.
So what I did is there was a place in town that was donating uniforms. So we got him some uniforms. And I had to explain to the client, he's not wearing the same dirty clothes. He was getting real dirty every day. He would go home and wash them and just wear it over because he didn't have anything.
Wow.
So, but that's just it. People just stop judging people because you never know. And he was a good worker. Why would you want to lose him? Why would I want to lose him? You help them succeed.
Right.
There you go.
As all of us at the platform, we are business owners in some form and fashion. You've been in business longer than us. What advice would you give us to overcome opposition when opposition is presented towards these people on this panel? What advice would you give us to overcome opposition if we was opposed with a problem? How would you tell us to handle it?
First thing is you have to believe in yourself. That's number one. Believe in what you're doing. And when you do something you love, I was taught younger that the best job anybody can have is a job that you would do for free if you could afford to.
Right.
If it's something that you knew that you love it that much that you can do it for free, that's something you can make a career out of. But you must believe in yourself, believe in the process and what you're doing, and never give up, and just understand that opposition is just part of the process. Wow. Some of the examples I use, people don't know the story of Oprah Winfrey, Michael Jordan, Steve Harvey, and young people, I say, look them up, listen to their stories. Whoopi Goldberg used to be homeless on the streets of New York.
Wow.
I mean, you'd be surprised, Michael Jordan, when he didn't make the junior high basketball team. A lot of people don't know these stories, but I find a different way to reach younger people, and they can identify with these stories and with these people, because the most important thing is you want to be able to reach them, and you want it to stick.
Wow.
Just don't give up. What doesn't break you makes you stronger.
That's right.
Yes.
Check this out. You got a lot of.
If God's going to bless somebody, Pastor used to tell us, why not me?
Why not me?
Why not me?
Why not? He sure said. Look, you got a lot of accomplishments. What's next on the list? You going higher?
Retirement. But in all seriousness, I do think about it. But at the same time, I just know from experience that I'm not quite ready yet. I still feel like I have a lot of work to do. And I want to see both of my children go branch out into their, what they want to do, what they love to do, and help them, with their plans, prepare for my grandchildren. Who knows, I may be there long enough to put my grandchildren to work, if that's what God has in line for me to do. So, but I just want to help as many people if I can. And, what I tell my children all the time, your generation is the generation that's going to take over. So we're trying to prepare you for that because we need leaders in our young people and want to help the city find a way to keep our young people here. You hate for our kids to graduate and leave and not come back. So we want to build our area up. And I think we're on the road to that, build it up to where our kids want to come back. It's nothing wrong with going off to college. Sometimes you have a scholarship or whatever your financial situation may be. But we want our kids to come back.
Because a lot of kids, they always say, it's nothing here. It's like, I can't wait to leave, and stuff like that.
So I want to help change that narrative.
My daughter's saying it right now. I just don't want to be in blah. Yeah, I feel that.
I understand.
Yeah. This interview definitely has been great, Miss Linda. The only thing, I got one thing that I didn't agree with on this interview.
Here he go.
I got one thing. You said you was a LeBron James. He was your number one fan.
Yeah, I'm a big LeBron fan.
I am too.
You're not a Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan ain't playing.
Don't get me wrong.
Right.
He was a great player too, but my favorite
is LeBron.
My favorite LeBron James.
Me too.
He get mad at
too.
the
Right.
favorite
Me too.
here now.
I'm not mad. I'm just saying.
Look how much LeBron
Now
has
that
done.
Dr. J is
You had a
retired
problem.
already.
Okay, so Dr. J was.
Because it was Dr. J when
Okay,
I
well,
was
I
Bebe don't know nothing about no sports.
I was an athlete. I played.
He don't even
everything.
watch sports.
He don't know nothing
He
about
was supposed to
sports.
ask no sports questions.
But it's all right. I mean,
Yes, man.
of
You
course,
still one of
he
my
had his
favorites. I'm
legacy.
telling you right now.
You can't take anything from Michael Jordan. He was awesome.
Yes, man.
But
But
he ain't
then-
LeBron.
He ain't no LeBron.
Then came LeBron James.
He ain't no LeBron.
Well, I'm glad we.
So
I'm glad
now
this
the
is
name
big.
to know is LeBron James.
That's right.
Well, I can agree.
That's
with
right.
that. Well, the name to know right now, I agree with that.
LeBron has done so much off.
Okay, well, we ain't got to get into sports. I
Right,
just said I
right.
just spoke my piece.
Right.
Oh, that was your
Yeah,
piece.
that was my piece, and I've
We
been.
can't take away from Michael Jordan. I mean,
That's
he's
right.
he's
Right.
great in his own with the shoes, the clothes.
Yeah.
So he's going to always be a legacy. But now we're concentrating on the younger generation, and it's right now it's LeBron James.
That's right.
For
It's
me.
LeBron.
That's right. For me too.
Yes,
For me too.
For
I
me
totally
too.
agree. You know.
Me too.
So I'm
Ain't mad at you.
she's mad. So
But it's been a pleasure being here with
Yes,
you
no doubt
guys.
about
I
it.
mean,
Definitely.
I'm proud to be amongst you fellas.
Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely.
we're
See
proud
you
to
all
have you
doing
here.
so great in your own right.
Yes.
Your own businesses.
Yes.
I'm proud.
We trying to go high.
Proud.
We trying.
And you will.
And
You
look,
will.
what you say you trying to do, we talk about it all the time. Leaving something for our kids.
What you talking
man.
about?
That's my biggest thing. That's why I don't care what I've been through. I can't let nothing stop me because I want to leave my kids something. You know, so many of our parents leave, and a lot of them don't leave us nothing because lack of knowing what to
Yeah.
do.
Lack of knowledge.
You know, but this generation now, we know what to do. So if we leave and we don't leave our kids something, it's just because we were selfish. Yeah, we didn't take the time to think. So
Definitely.
that's big.
and when you hear stories like this, it motivates you.
Yeah.
To even want to leave more
Yeah.
for your children. You know.
Make you go
So man,
harder.
this is
Yeah, because-
big for
Yeah,
us having you on here.
tangible. You right here. I mean, like
Right.
you know, we can read stories, we can see interviews, but we got access to somebody that's already
Yes.
doing
In
it
the
and doing it on a
community.
major
Absolutely.
level.
In the community, you know, you don't
For
find
somebody
this too
that
much.
really cares.
That's big.
Yes.
Right.
One thing that got me when you said that, like when you're down, you look at your kids, picture your kid. I do the same thing. Like what makes me get up in the morning and go? Like them children.
That's some powerful inspiration.
Yes. I'm very
Because what
grateful.
parents don't want the best for their children?
You better believe it.
Well,
Yeah, no doubt. I'm with you. I'm with you. What's wrong? Yeah, but this is outstanding. You know what I'm
Especially
saying?
we've experienced all these obstacles. We want to make it a little bit easier for them.
right.
You know. So we got to
Man.
lay that platform out there for them.
I got a lot of them leave something too, man. I gotta get to work. I gotta get. I gotta get
we
moving,
both
man. I don't know how
Well,
many.
look at it this
We
way.
both gotta see. You got two. You can just split it, man. I gotta cut a pie.
Well, being successful and being young men, they know they can do it.
Absolutely.
Yes.
There's no excuse.
Yes. Yes.
They know they can do it.
And,
I got to
and one,
cut it too, Shab.
and one
And
thing
it's
about it,
gonna
you
be a lot
got
easier
grandkids
for them than it
and
was
everything,
for us.
don't you?
Absolutely,
You
you're
got
right.
grandkids and everything, for real. So,
Got to cut the pie.
but it's good to see that we got this in our community, man.
Man,
You know,
no doubt,
man,
no
I'm
doubt.
thankful for being able to have you on here,
Thank
and so these people gonna be able to see
Yeah.
that we got some excellence.
Because and you really
Outstanding
don't talk a
excellence
lot.
in our community.
So
Right.
you don't. The whole world don't. Not just me.
Yeah, the world,
Yeah,
gonna
the
know
world
this,
done seen you talk now.
you know,
They probably gonna book you next
because
week.
It's easy when you talk
see
about
you.
things that you believe
Yeah,
in.
we see you all the time,
Yeah.
you know, around the town, but you never get to be able to hear you. And now y'all get to be able to hear this outstanding woman.
Let me ask you this: do you go out and get to talk about your story, or to
Occasionally.
inspire others?
Occasionally. I don't seek the events, but if people
Right.
call on me,
Yes.
and if I'm available,
Well,
I
they gonna
do.
be calling because you spoke a lot of knowledge and a lot of it's very
You
inspirational.
got some action behind it too.
Yeah, you got
Man.
that. You got that like the young kids. Got my age, what they say? She got motion.
You know what I'm saying? We got motion.
We got
Say
motion.
it.
Yeah,
Say it.
my bad, cuz.
We got motion.
Yeah, Miss Linda, you spoke for us before. Then you talked to the kids.
I did.
Yeah, remember she
I
spoke for
spoke
Hillary
at
Hood.
ANC. I go out to.
wanna come
How
here?
long was that ago?
Because we sent her a thank you
DCC.
card
You
in
come
the mail. She
You
spoke.
want,
at-
Come on, yeah, bring
introduce
your daughter up here so she
your,
here.
Your daughter. Your
She want
Yo, this your boy Bebe, the motivator. And this episode of Real Talk Barbershop 870 is sponsored by Gillespie Insurance Group, where we make your personal lines and your commercial lines come together to decrease your risk. Look, I'm at a new location, 801 West Moultrie in the magnificent city of Blytheville, Arkansas. Here's my number, 870-623-4742. I repeat, 870-623-4742. If you're not with GIG, see ya, and I wouldn't want to be. Yeah.
She want to be up here anyway.
Most of you
Don't
know
try to act
her, but
shy.
I'd like to introduce to the world.
Come on.
Come
My
on,
daughter's
she want to
my
be in
right
here.
hand,
Go on
my
that
office
side.
manager,
She
my
wanna be up here.
transportation
She
supervisor.
like that attention.
She's my all in all. My pride and joy.
It's so
Look at
sweet.
Maisha up
My
here.
daughter.
Hey, sis. How you
So
doing?
proud of her. I couldn't be more proud. She is not just to be biased, but she is the best worker I have ever had. Now, don't
Wow.
get me wrong. I don't want to take homage away from the good workers that
Absolutely.
I do
We
have,
understand.
that have and have had. Some have retired or moved away. I've had some really good ones, but because I know she's working from her heart, because some of us hire children. It's like, oh my God, but she is awesome. She is awesome. I have to make her go home sometime. What is you doing over there? Go home.
I didn't know you had a master's, cuz.
I didn't either.
Double
Double
You
master's.
heard it here.
Man, that's big. I mean, that says so much. You got a double master,
Euler,
but
Little
you
Rock.
choose
Wow,
to work
man.
with your mom.
Whatever I can do to take it off of.
So tell us something about your mom.
She on vacation.
Tell
What
us.
about
I know we done heard this outstanding story from your mom. You tell us something about your mom.
That you admire.
That you just said it. You don't got to do
He
this.
man, like he got a handheld mic. He done gave it a whole stand. That ain't no handheld mic.
It's gonna catch him.
The biggest thing that I see is just her patience.
Okay.
I wish I could be half the woman she is because I am my daddy's daughter. But my mom, she can look at somebody and they can do all wrong to her, but she'll find the good in even what they did wrong.
Wow.
And I wish I had that.
Wow.
That's
She
amazing.
sure ain't
I just
got it.
believe in treating people how I want to be treated.
She
It's
showed
that
me
simple.
patience.
Yes.
You took your mic back.
Yeah, I took it back.
Yes.
Hey,
Well, she can have it again. What she need.
Hey, sis, man, we super proud of you, man. We didn't know you had
Double
the
masters.
Double
Yeah.
masters.
That's big.
Hey,
Let me
what?
ask you this: how it feel to work with your mom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get the mic back.
It's rough sometimes just holding the boss's daughter title. But at the end of the day, that's the best boss I've ever had. Like, not just because it's my mom, but she goes above and beyond. She helps us at work and personally. Every employee that has been employed with us, even as a temp, not just in the office, they can say that she's done for them outside of the business. And you'll never know what she did because that's not how she is.
She's an amazing person.
Amazing.
Guys,
And what she do to you, though, sometimes? Sometimes she have to pull your coattail.
Man, pull the
Yeah.
braid.
She always tell me
everything.
that I'm hard on her. I say, well, that's being a parent.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not just your boss. I'm your mother. And, of course, we expect more from our children.
I'm
Yes.
sure.
And I
Yes.
just, leadership. And then I always want my staff I don't want her to just be their boss. I want them to respect her
Yes.
in that position.
That's what's up,
Man.
man.
Marie do work hard,
This is
though. I will
awesome.
say this because
She
I was up
does.
there the other day. I was up there with Miss Linda the other day, and Miss Linda appreciates your sponsorship for helping with the Legends game, too. She always do that. So, like I said, she's a big giver. She always been a supporter of Healing in the Hood
Absolutely.
from day one. When I started in 2009, she was always somebody I can call on. From then to now, she's never told me no.
Wow.
Never. If she couldn't do everything I needed, she would always do something. You know what I mean?
That's
But
amazing.
I wanted to say I was up there the other day talking to her, Marie, and Marie had just took a vacation. So this show you how much she loves her mom and want to work to help her mom take it. She felt bad for taking a vacation,
Really.
and she don't get no breaks.
Wow.
She felt bad for. I was like, girl, you gotta. Even Miss Linda had told her, you gotta be able to get a break too. She felt bad for taking a break on vacation just because she had to leave her mom at work.
She was worried about all that was going to be left for me. I told her, I got this. I'm
Wow.
good. You go and relax. You'll be back.
Yes.
They
Yes.
trying to
back?
make me go to Jamaica. With some,
We still
yeah.
Did you hear that over there?
Well, this has been an outstanding
Man,
show,
no doubt.
I've
man.
enjoyed it.
This
I
has been
really
outstanding.
enjoyed being here
Yes,
with you
ma'am.
guys. And I
We really
appreciate you
enjoyed
having
you.
me.
If it was one last thing you'd like to tell the people, anybody that's trying to get to be successful in life, I want you to look right in that camera, that one right there. Look right in that camera, man. and-
Whatever you do in life, just always remember to put God first. Because if you put God first, you can't fail.
Y'all heard
You
that?
heard it.
You
heard
heard
it
it.
here.
Hey,
You heard it straight.
This is outstanding, man.
man, I don't even want to stop the interview.
Hey, this
I
been-
feel like I can learn some more.
It's been amazing.
It's been a blessing.
Cuz I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I'll say it in front of the whole world. I texted to you. Man, I'm just proud of you. You somebody that a lot of
A
us
role
look
model.
up to.
Yes.
A lot of us look
No
up
doubt.
to.
Yeah, I
No doubt
definitely. I
about
tell
it.
you all the time.
Yeah.
I tell you all the time how much I look up to you. You and Rick, because Rick my partner too.
Yeah.
But
Shout out to
definitely,
Rick.
Yeah. When I got my them chicken salad jumpsuits in, I hadn't made a sale yet. I had just got them in, and I was getting out that morning, and cuz she told me, she said, come by the house, and she told me to bring her two and Ricky two. So I came over there, brought them two. Maisha came through the door. She got two.
Look out now.
And you know she couldn't leave her brother out.
Couldn't leave her brother out. He got two.
Look out
I
now.
said, look, man, I came over here, they got 8 sets.
You got kids too?
8 sets.
Wow.
And then she came and got some for the grandbabies.
Wow.
I mean, not her grandbaby, her babies, her grandbabies.
Yeah.
So, man, they're a big supporter, man. I really, really
See, that's what it should
appreciate y'all.
always be about.
It should
Supporting
be.
each other.
It should
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
Can you
It
imagine?
should
We
be.
just support each
Yeah.
other. You
We
know,
be-
of course
man,
we
way
support
best place.
all people, but you should definitely support the people in your circle.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes.
Most definitely appreciate you.
Man, it's been a great one.
It's been dope.
It's been outstanding.
What else has been?
Brilliant.
It's been amazing.
Sensational.
Hold on, I got one y'all can't guess.
Come on.
It's been supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Preach came one right there. I ain't even gonna say it. I know I'm gonna stop it with that one. I can't say that. We're gonna close out on that right there.
Yeah, it's your boy Rope.
It's your boy Preach Boy Spann.
It's your boy Bebe the Motivator.
And I am JR, aka Mr. Rogers.
And I am Linda Moore, the owner of Dawson Employment, Staffing, and Transportation Services.
Go tell them who
And
you
I'm
are.
Aisha Parks, office manager.
Hey,
you're tuned in to Real Talk Barbershop 870. We out.